behind, where they're sat, but lots of them are stood instead of sitting at that end of the ground behind the goalkeeper, Steve Arnold. Town playing towards the home end, the famous Boothen end in this first half, and we are underway. Jeff Eltringham signals for this FA Cup replay to commence, and a long ball from Waterfall is too high for Okenabiri, and Stoke City will have a throw in the right back position to be taken here by Maritz Bauer, who hasn't played too many first team games for Stoke of late. This is a big chance for Bauer, and he throws the ball over halfway looking for Crouch, who wins the flick on. And now this is strong play from Campbell down the right for the home side, sliding challenge for Grant, impeccably timed, and Sadler plays the ball out off a Stoke player for a Town throw in the left back position.
Yeah, Sadler with a bandage on, lost his footing there, and Tyrese Campbell almost nipped him behind. Exactly the opposite of what I'd expect for Stoke for most of this game. Expect Peter Crouch to stand right on Matt Sadler, 6'7" against 5'11", and win all of the headers. Town will be playing for second balls when Stoke go long to Crouch, and then Tyrese Campbell against the often flat-footed Luke Waterfall, who doesn't like players running at him. With a quick son of Kevin Campbell, the former Everton and Nottingham Forest and Arsenal striker, will try and isolate Waterfall and expose his deficiencies. But Town centre-halves have to cover for each other.
He did well, didn't he, as a substitute in that first game. It will be a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town here. Steve Arnold, who made a string of fine saves in that 3-0 home defeat against Charlton at the Meadow on Saturday, will take it. The stand opposite us totally empty tonight. The tile mountain stand, that's not in use, but plenty of supporters behind both goals, and there's a lot of people on this main stand side as Town attack down the right with Doherty. Doherty whips the ball in, and he's won a corner here. Good play from Doherty down the right hand side, and he wins Town their first corner of the night.
Yeah, need to see more than Doherty than we have in recent weeks. Such a good, talented footballer, playmaker, who can run with the ball and pick a pass as well. He'll be vital looking after the ball in that midfield area to get Town up the pitch.
And Haynes will take this corner kick. Okenabiri is stood in the 6-yard box. There's some other players congregating a bit further back in the penalty area as Haynes now plays the ball in left-footed, and it's headed away by Crouch, only as far as Grant, who goes for goal, and it's over the bar, and the ball sails into the Boothen end. But it was worth a go, wasn't it, for Anthony Grant, the former Port Vale player, back in a city which he used to call his footballing home when he played for Vale, of course.
Yeah, good player, Anthony Grant, there's no doubt about that. Goal scoring, not really his forte. Never quite looked comfortable on his left foot striking that goalwards, but did so, and it's an effort on goal that gets Town almost a little bit of confidence on the board in that respect.
Grant is pulled back by Ince, and that will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick, just 15 yards inside their own half. We'll get Mark to have a closer look at the formation to see whether it is as we thought it was going to be, a 4-3-3 when we saw the names listed on the team sheet, or whether it's something a little bit different. Town have this free kick then, and Arnold has come out a long way to take it. Sam Ricketts on the edge of his technical area in the navy coat and the smart black trousers, watching on. We can see from the back of the main stand, terrific commentary position. Adam for Stoke, long ball forward, and Campbell is quick, he's after that one, and Arnold comes out of his penalty area and clears, and it goes straight to the left hand side for Stoke as they look to come forward, but there's no way through for them this time. Atibo, and they have to start again back inside their own half with Williams, who played so well, didn't he, for Wales at Euro 2016. He was Chris Coleman's captain. Adam, ball forward to Atibo, and Stoke now go out to the far side to Josh Tynan, former Hull City youngster. Stoke kick the ball in the centre circle with Adam, and he plays it out to this near side to Bauer. 0-0 here, early stages. Klukas for Stoke, midway inside the Town half, nicely weighted ball, uses Tynan, back with Klukas, works it forward to Atibo on the left hand side, and Stoke working well here. Low ball comes in, well cleared by Waterfall for the Town. Up towards Gilead, was that a shove in the back? Yes it was, and Shrewsbury given a free kick some 30 yards away from their own goal. BBC Shropshire, 5 minutes on the clock. Stoke 0, Shrewsbury 0 in this FA Cup third round replay.
Yeah, there's a moment a couple of minutes ago where Tyrese Campbell did exactly what I said he would want to do, and that was isolate Luke Waterfall, and this time he got into a foot race with him, chasing a through ball, and watching Waterfall turn and try and run back, it was like somebody's dad had accidentally found themselves in the 100-metre final at the Olympic Games. He was going backwards and Campbell was tearing past him. Fortunately for Town, the ball ran through to Steve Arnold in goal, but the lack of pace at the heart of defence is an issue tonight.
Williams for Stoke in the right back position, goes short to Bauer, who's challenged by Amadi Holloway, and the decision goes against him, says referee Jeff Eltringham. And Stoke they take the free kick square. Williams to Atibo. This is Stoke's first game here since losing to Bristol City by 2-0 on New Year's Day. Bauer well forward here down the right hand side, looks for Klukas, can't find him, and Sadler steps in for the Town, plays it up towards halfway. Gilead rises, Amadi Holloway tries to make something of it, but Stoke have got a covering defender. Williams has the back pass option available, and that's what he does. Then he uses Federici, the goalkeeper, Australian international, who plays it out from the back. And Stoke now look to build with Martins Indy. Out to the left-hand side they go. Stoke will have long spells of possession, I'm sure. The higher you go, the more often it is possession-based, isn't it, football? Bauer, ball forward to Klukas. Back again they go into their own half, going nowhere fast at the moment.
No, I think they're playing a derivative of 4-4-2 Town, with Gilead up alongside Aaron Amadi Holloway, Fajiri Okunabiri playing on the left-hand side of a 4 with Doherty on the right, which is a strange team selection from Sam Ricketts.
Stoke keep the ball with Bauer to Klukas, and now Bauer once more, looks for the give and go. Ince instead turns. Ince now plays in Bauer, who goes down. Wants a penalty with a challenge on Haynes from Haynes. Nothing doing though for Bauer. And Town play their way out of danger. Sadler with the ball over halfway, and it's well kept in here by Amadi Holloway, who's battling with Williams. Stoke double up on him. Adam. Now Atibo, and ball forward by Bruno Martins Indy. Ince, who played well in the first game. Here's Ince again, some 20 yards out. Ince goes on looking to make something happen, and he shoots, and Sadler gets the block. And now the decision goes against Stoke, and it will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick, some 20 yards from their own goal. What about that penalty appeal? I
think they got tangled. I think Haynes and Bauer got their legs wrapped together, but I think it was fairly accidental and a mutually responsible coming together. So Bauer seemed convinced, but I don't think the referee was ever going to give that. He's a diminutive full-back linked with the Wolverhampton Wanderers in recent weeks. One of the big complaints from the Stoke fans was that he and the likes of Bojan, the former Barcelona man, haven't been anywhere near this Stoke side under Gary Rowett. Maybe Nathan Jones is deciding to give them their chance, and certainly with Bauer tonight.
Yep, he's an experienced full-back. He hasn't featured for Stoke for quite some time. It's just a big chance for him to play his way back into the Stoke City first team plans. Here he is on the ball just inside the Town half. He swaps passes with Klukas, who's a tall midfield player. And now Williams finds his central defensive colleague Martins Indy, works it out to the left hand side to the left back, Timon. Stoke attack. Town have got plenty of men back behind the ball. Atibo works it to Ince more centrally, who's allowed to turn, and Stoke attacking down the left hand side. Campbell tries to whip it in, and it's well blocked off by Bolton, Staffordshire player in the Shrewsbury side. Good block, and it will be a Stoke throw some 10 yards from the corner flag, and a steward has to retrieve the ball from row upon row of empty seats in that stand opposite that is not in use tonight. 0-0 in this FA Cup replay. We are into the 10th minute. BBC Shropshire. Stoke attacking down the left hand side with Ince, finds Klukas. They look for Atibo, all a bit too intricate though from Nathan Jones's new side, the former Luton manager, and that will be a Town throw in the right back position.
Yeah, they're trying something different, aren't they, under Nathan Jones? He has a way of playing that's very different to Gary Rowett's way of playing. Rowett, a fairly conservative manager, likes to get his team solid before he does anything else, whereas Jones wants his teams to play on the front foot and play like we saw Luton play against Town in that 3-2 victory for Luton at Kenilworth Road earlier in the season, where frankly at times they shredded Town with their fast passing football. Takes a bit of time to implement though.
Emirates Bauer uses the experienced Adam. His ball forward is blocked off well by Okudabiri. Now Stoke start again in the centre circle. Williams finds Adam, a player with so much experience. Adam with the diagonal ball looking for Crouch, and out comes Arnold and he makes it his.
Yep, decent take from Arnold, dressed all in yellow and takes his time. No point rushing from the Town goalkeeper trying to stop Stoke building up any sort of head of steam. It'll be interesting to find out what Sam Rickich's thinking is behind this team selection. Gilead definitely up alongside Amadi Holloway. Okudabiri, top scorer, out on the wing.
Here is Gilead on the right-hand side, does well. Uses Bolton, Town keep the ball. They work it forward now, Gilead, and Bolton well forward. Okudabiri in the box now, ball comes in, headed away by Martins Indy. Strong challenge from Grant, it's a good one on Adam. Play continues. Haynes from the left-hand side, ball comes in, headed away. It doesn't quite run Doherty's way, but Doherty trying to win it back here. That's good composure from Atiba, but his crossfield ball wasn't quite what he was hoping for, and he gets it horribly wrong, and it sails into touch. And it will be a Shrewsbury Town throw on the left-hand side as they come forward. 0-0, but they've started very well here.
Sensational from Grant, that, wasn't it? Absolutely lunged in and took out everything. Brilliant tackle from Anthony Grant, who has been the brightest of spots in what's been a bit of a dismal season for Shrewsbury Town so far. Continues to just excel.
Federici clears from left to right as we look. Crouch goes up a bit too early there. But a clear foul there from the former England international centre forward on Grant. Peter Crouch protests his innocence, tries to explain what happened in his opinion, but the referee had a different viewpoint, and it will be a Town free kick to be taken here by Haynes, who's really started to look the part at left back for Shrewsbury Town. Former Coventry City player, played alongside Sam Ricketts at the Sky Blues. And Haynes on halfway, 12 minutes on the clock, just assessing the options up ahead of him. Everyone within about 20 yards of the Stoke City goal as they defend. Ball knocked forward, Crouch heads it away, and now Stoke will look to turn defence into attack with the youngster Campbell, but he's knocked off the ball by Doherty. Town attack now down the left, and Amadi Holloway holds it up. Doherty clips it forward, and it's a shame Okudabiri couldn't quite take it in his stride, but he was offside in any case, and it will be a Stoke City free kick.
Brilliant from Doherty though, wasn't it? That chasing Tyrese Campbell from right to left, probably about 55, 60 yards, and then dispossessed him. Really good to stick with Campbell, who's pretty quick, as we've seen early on, and Doherty looks hungry.
That's a nothing ball forward from Stoke. Bolton in the right back position, has to play it though, and he does, and he looks for a teammate. The Ren can't do anything meaningful with it this time, and Stoke go back towards halfway. Haven't had anything resembling a clear scoring opportunity at either end so far, and we played 13.5 minutes on BBC Radio Shropshire 96 FM. Williams striding forward here for Stoke. He uses Emirates Bauer on this right-hand side. He goes down under the challenge of Okudabiri's, and that'll be a Stoke City free kick. About 10 yards from the corner flag as they attack down this right-hand side.
Yes, and we've got to be careful not to give away too many of these free kicks. They've got to make Stoke beat them rather than give them a helping hand. When you've got Peter Crouch in the penalty area, Ashley Williams is a threat as well in there, and Charlie Adam with a really sweet left foot standing over the ball. This is an opportunity.
Yep, Adam is the man who will take this free kick, the former Liverpool and Blackpool player. Here it comes, left-footed, it's a good one as well. It's headed against the post, it's hit the keeper, it's gone in, but the flag is up on this near side, so it won't count. Ball ended up in the back of the net, but the flag was up, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, the flag went up nice and early. It was a horrible moment from Arnold, wasn't it? Was it Crouch against the post, and then back off the post, off the goalkeeper's back and in. But that's exactly what I was just talking about. Town have got to make Stoke beat them. Giving them a helping hand by offering them free kicks that are slightly better than corners when they don't need to concede fouls is just going to help Stoke beat them, rather than, you know, forcing Tom Ince to beat three men and put it in the top corner, which you can almost accept against higher division opposition.
Still 0-0. Williams goes short to Klukas. Klukas finds the captain, Martins Indy, Netherlands international. And now the youngster playing left back, Tynan works it infield. Nathan Jones taking the chance to just to set his squad in the first couple of games. He's had 3-1 defeat at Brentford on Saturday in the Championship, and that's a good ball from Ince. Plays it out to the left-hand side, brought it towards Crouch, and Sadler takes command of the situation. He was almost lying down there, wasn't he, as he got his chest to the ball and steers it very carefully back to his goalkeeper, Arnold.
Wasn't the most convincing defending, was it, from Matt Sadler, though, who almost fell on the ball and managed to chest it back to his goalkeeper, or sort of slide. It was a bit like a penguin going down a hill, almost pushing the ball with his chest as he slid along the ground. But, you know, you're going to deal with it whatever way you can. It
was effective, wasn't it, in the end? Here's Doherty for the Town, who was watched by the Rangers assistant manager Gary McAllister on Saturday in that Charlton game. He was sat just in front of the press box. Ince to Klukas, moves over halfway, knocks it forward. Campbell after this one, looks for his strike partner Crouch, and well defended again by Haynes this time. Just very elegantly chested back to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, balls coming in, aren't they, quickly, early from Stoke City. It's clear that they want to get the ball into Crouch in particular early on. Playing Nathan Jones diamond with Ince trying to pull the strings. Not necessarily the sort of formation that you see a lot of width in, but the fullbacks are bombing on.
Ball is back with Federici, the Stoke goalkeeper, who balls it out. Can spot Ryan Woods just jogging along the touchline. What a player he was for Shrewsbury Town. Terrific to see, wasn't it, his emergence from the youth team. And he was a terrific player in that promotion team under Mickey Mellon. Town win the ball on halfway. Bolton to Loren, and Bolton goes on and runs into a defender, but it will be a Town throw. Advanced position. Stoke a bit casual there on halfway, and Bolton did well to nip in. He looked to play the give and go with Loren, and he forces a throw well upfield for the Town. 0-0. Town well in this cup tie. Remember, a home tie with Wolves, a prize for the winners. Gilead goes back towards halfway to Sadler. That's a poor ball. Plays it behind Haynes, straight into touch, and Stoke City will have a throw midway inside their own half, which Bauer takes. Goes back to Williams. Adam now for Stoke. Square ball to Bruno Martins Indy. Ball forward now to Atibo, the Nigerian international. He can't sort his feet out, and he just rolls it straight into touch there. A bit frustrating for the Stoke City supporters, who've got such high expectations, haven't they? Having been used to their team being a Premier League club for 10 years before relegation in May. Town look for the ball down the inside right channel. And the captain for Stoke, Martins Indy, plays it against Amadi Holloway. And it will be a Stoke City throw in the left-back position. Town without Ollie Norburn tonight, owing to an FA Cup suspension. Standalone bookings in the FA Cup this season. And Dave Edwards ineligible to play any part because he wasn't signed ahead of the initial third-round clash between these sides. Town on the right-hand side with Gilead. Grant now, who's made a very good start to this game, uses Haynes. Haynes well forward down the left-hand side. Klukas checks his run, but Haynes still has it. He needs some support now. Ball comes in right-footed towards Amadi Holloway, and he can't quite get his head to it. Great ball from Haynes, and Amadi Holloway threw himself at it, but he couldn't get any contact, and it curls out of play for a goal kick.
There's a chance for Amadi Holloway. Haynes back on his right foot, put in a really good ball from this near side, and Amadi Holloway, with a defender in front of him, just couldn't quite sort his feet out and attack the trajectory of the ball.
Ince looks for Campbell through the middle. It's his dangerous chance. Goal! Stoke City in front. They went down the middle. And it's a confident finish from Tyrese Campbell, found himself one-on-one with Steve Arnold, and he makes no mistake. And Stoke City take the lead in this FA Cup third round replay. Stoke 1, Shrewsbury 0.
A chance at one end and then Town concede a terrible goal at the other. As easy a finish as Tyrese Campbell will ever get, because first of all he managed to get away from Waterfall, then Sadler sliding in with a really weak challenge allowed Campbell away from him with the ball at his feet, and then he just slotted it past the onrushing Arnold. A really simple goal, but neither of Town's central defenders will look back on that with any sort of fondness. A really poor goal for Shrewsbury Town to concede. It was just so simple.
We're watching a replay, aren't we, here? Yep. Campbell allowed to charge through the middle. Out came Arnold, who was well used to facing one-on-one because he had a few to save from Colin Grant in that Charlton game on Saturday. But it was a confident finish from young Campbell in front of those travelling Salopians, and Stoke 1, Shrewsbury 0. It's their first real chance of the night, and the Championship side have stuck it away. The first goal here of the Nathan Jones era. Stoke 1, Shrewsbury 0. And Town have to come from behind. Bolton on halfway. Ball forward to Amadi Holloway, who goes down. That will be a free kick, foul by Charlie Adam. And a chance for Town to knock the ball into the box now. Waterfall is making his way forward, but Town will be frustrated by the manner in which they've fallen behind. Just a fairly routine ball through the middle, and Campbell was allowed to surge through. Yeah,
it was poor. Sadler almost slid over the top of it, missed the ball entirely. Campbell got away from Waterfall with ease. Neither dealt with the ball as it came through, and in the end it was a simple finish.
Town free kick taken by Doherty, and it goes all the way through to the keeper. There was no height on it. He was looking for the run, I think, of Okenabiri. He couldn't get anything on it, and it's a bit of a gift for Federici, who's yet to be extended. The Stoke City goalkeeper, Atibo, plays it back to Martins Indy, and he in turn turns it back to Federici. Almost gives away a corner, in fact. Federici shows neat footwork, and he plays it square across his goal here. Total football from Stoke inside their 18-yard box, and now they look to attack. Ball forward down the inside left channel, looking for Tyrese Campbell. Town defend it well. Square ball from Atibo. Picks out Williams, moves it over halfway to Bauer. Stoke in their famous red and white striped shirts, white shorts and white socks. They lead here by goal to nil. Tyrese Campbell, the goal scorer. Martins Indy for Stoke. Last man back by the goalkeeper. Plays it out to the far side to Timon. And then Stoke give the ball away. Loren forward to Gilead. Hasn't had a chance to stretch his legs. Is this the time? Strong run from Gilead, but then he runs into Ashley Williams, and his clearance proves to be effective because it releases Crouch, who holds the ball up just inside the Town half. Stoke keep it. Sharp turn from Ince. Lovely footwork to get away from Okenabiri, who tackles back, gets a challenge in. Stoke throw just inside the Town half. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, this may be a stroke of genius that I'm yet to appreciate, and I know they want Okenabiri to push up, but I can't fathom why Gilead is playing through the middle alongside Amadi Holloway and Okenabiri's on the left wing. That is strange to me.
Sadler does the defensive work this time, at the expense of a Stoke throw, which is taken by Bauer. He gets it back, ball comes in right-footed, looking for Crouch. Crouch rises, and he can't get anything on that one, and Town defend it well, and it's kept in by Doherty in the right-back position. Doherty rolls the ball up towards halfway, doesn't quite reach Amadi Holloway. Adam steps in. Charlie Adam, who was a Stoke man for a lot of those Premier League years. He's had a good career, hasn't he, Charlie Adam? Hasn't played too often in recent times, but this is a chance for him to potentially play his way back into the Stoke City first team plans. Here he is with that crossfield switch. Does well to find Timon, who's well forward, and Bolton has to just hook the ball over his shoulder and into touch, and it will be a Stoke City through.
He's a bit like Crouch, isn't he, Charlie Adam, in that he never had any pace to lose, but a wonder of a left foot. That Blackpool team that he was a part of under Ian Holloway, He produced some wonderful, wonderful moments in.
Bauer finds Lucas on the right-hand side. Ball comes in, hits Okenabiri on the back. Ball spinning around in the box, and Grant emerges with it. He uses Gilead, takes the ball down well, turns midway inside the town half, and that's good play from Gilead. But then he's challenged by Adam, knocks it forward, and Town will have a throw in the left-back position. 25 minutes played, BBC Shropshire, FA Cup third round special for you tonight. And it's Stoke City 1, Shrewsbury 0.
He's got to know when to release the ball, hasn't he, Gilead? Got away from his man really, really well, but he's in his own half. And then he wants to go and beat another 3 or 4. And when you're running into a player of Charlie Adams' experience, it's very, very difficult to beat him in one-on-one in a tight space. And he just ran straight into him in the end.
In for Stoke. Good ball to Timon. On the left-hand side, goes back in field to a Tebow, some 40 yards from goal, turns and goes back to Adam, playing pretty deep, and from halfway he's closed down by Gilead. So it goes all the way back to Federici. Stoke have the ball in the centre circle with a Tebow to Williams. 1-0 Stoke lead. Ince uses Bauer, finds him. Bauer, dangerous position this, on the right-hand side. His ball in is blocked off well by Okenabiri, who's having to do lots of work defensively, isn't he, on this left-hand side. And a foul on Haynes, and it will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick in the left-back position. If you're just joining us, Town have a couple of youngsters among the subs tonight. James Rowland, who was so impressive across the city of Stoke-on-Trent last Tuesday when we were at Vale Park for that Checkatrade Trophy tie. The young midfielder James Rowland is on the bench, and so is a 16-year-old goalkeeper, Sam Agius, who's on the bench as backup goalkeeper to Steve Arnold tonight. He's an academy goalkeeper. Town, though, have signed Reece Charles Cook earlier today. Doherty looks for Mardy Holloway in the penalty area, can't find him. Well defended by Stoke. A Tebow takes it away from Doherty and uses Adam. And now Clucas moves over halfway, right-hand side. Stoke 1 up. Clucas, Ince wants it. Little back heel for the midfield player, once of Swansea. Uses Bauer. And now it's with Campbell, the goal scorer, on the right-hand side. Plays it back to a Tebow, who hits it. It's well wide, goal kick.
I like the look of Tyrese Campbell, though, given how Benicaphobe signed for a combined, well, more than £25 million. Tyrese Campbell, young player, has offered far more in terms of work rate, endeavour, trying things. He's fleet of foot, he's quick, he's clearly got quality. He scored tonight, looks a talent.
He does, doesn't he? Yep. Tyrese Campbell, his goal in the 20th minute, dividing the teams here. Under the lights, in the Potters, Stoke City 1, Shrewsbury 0. Arnold clears from right to left as we look. Bolton now knocks it forward. Williams steps in, gives it straight to Grant, and now Haynes invited to come forward down the left-hand side, having a good game again tonight. Haynes, here he is, goes short to Gilead, tries to find Okenabiri, can't find him, and the move breaks down. For Town, keep the pressure on here. Good play from Gilead, just closing down Adam, and now Okenabiri blocks off the intended ball forward from Bauer. It will be a Stoke City throw in the right-back position. Stoke 1, Shrewsbury 0.
Haynes has been good so far, the opening half an hour. He's got forward well when he can. He's done his defensive work pretty well. He's currently having to mark Peter Crouch, and he's hoping the ball doesn't come high down the lines. He's not going to get anywhere near, but he's such a threat going forward that if he can do his defensive work well, then he'll be a real asset from that position. A Tebow for Stoke, forward to Ince. Good challenge from Loren, takes it off Ince, and now Grant turns, uses Okenabiri, forward to Mardy Holloway, and that's late from Williams on Okenabiri. I thought it was, no free kick, and play allowed to continue. Waterford has misjudged it, but well anticipated by Sadler behind him, just as well he was there to tidy up. Town come forward now with Grant in the centre circle. Finds Okenabiri again on the left-hand side, uses Haynes now. Back to Okenabiri, 10 yards inside the Stoke half. Town 1-0 down. Haynes, ball in right-footed. Headed away, not convincingly, could break to Doherty. Doherty with Bolton on the overlap. Doherty goes on and he wins a corner. Yeah, and again Haynes on the overlap, coming into play, but at the other end Waterfall and Bolton getting in each other's way. and it just looks really poor, doesn't it, when that happens, and almost played Town into trouble. Sadler using his experience to look alive and sort out the danger.
Town corner then. Haynes has got over to that far side to take it in front of the Boothen end here. Half an hour played. Stoke lead by a goal to nil, but Waterford has made his way forward. It's always a handful, isn't he, from set pieces. Haynes whips it in. Federici punches it away to the edge of the box. Doherty back in, helped on, and it's saved under the bar. Little flick, and Federici holds on under the bar.
Yep, just a looping shot for Federici to come and claim. A goalkeeper of his calibre isn't going to make any mistake there, and Town have to find a way now to be more of a threat. They've got to stay in the game for as long as possible, whilst trying to hit Stoke on the break and trying to play as much of the game as they can in the Stoke half, and maybe throw everything at them in the last 10 or 15 minutes. What they can't afford to do is concede the next goal.
You look at some of the players who have come into this Stoke City side tonight, haven't been playing a lot of football, have they? A lot of them in recent times. People like Bauer, the right back, and well, Crouch hasn't started too many games.
Charlie Adam,
of course, in midfield. So, yep, something to keep a close eye on. In terms of fitness is one thing, match fitness and match sharpness is another, but these are all very good players, all international players, and they've helped Stoke open up this 1-0 lead in this FA Cup third round replay, live for you tonight on BBC Radio Shropshire. This Town's third appearance at this stadium, the second time against Stoke. Ince for Stoke, looks for the give and go. Ince on the edge of the box. Doherty covers well and clears out to the far side, and it will be a throw for Stoke, which will be taken here by Timon, the left back. Those travelling supporters who have travelled in terrific numbers up the A53 to get behind Town tonight in Staffordshire, just waiting for something to really get excited about. Adam puts his foot on the ball for Stoke, goes back into his own half to Martin Zindi, gives it back to Adam once again. Diagonal ball, Crouch the target, chests it down, Crouch, and he tries to find Bauer, and he does. Bauer for Stoke, midway inside the Town half. Short ball forward to Klukas, and now Klukas again. Short ball into the feet of Ince this time. Good challenge from Loren. Okunabiri is caught by Atibo, and Town get this free kick this time for the challenge on Okunabiri. He might need treatment here. Stays down, think he'll be okay, and it will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick. Some back midway inside their own half on the left-hand side. Stoke 1, Shrewsbury 0, BBC Shropshire.
They push the full back so high, Stoke, that's where their width is coming from, and then Charlie Adam just drops in almost level at times with the central defenders, sometimes 5-6 yards in front of them, and then playing almost like an NFL quarterback, just pings the ball around, short, long, cross-field, straight in a straight line, whatever he feels is the best way to manage the game and move Town's defence around. And he's got so much experience and quality that he's able to do that with all of the legs around him.
Arnold free kick, helped on by Amadi Holloway. Stoke clear up towards halfway. Doesn't find its way towards Campbell over the ball because Haynes steps in, plays it out, and it will be a Stoke City throw midway inside their own half on this right-hand side, which Bauer will take. Stoke 1, Shrewsbury 0. The goal coming from Campbell in the 20th minute. Ball played forward to Crouch now, who chests it down, looks for Campbell. Challenge comes in from Okunabiri, who missed the initial tie because of a suspension. It does seem unfair, this suspension ruling. Town without Norburn tonight because of FA Cup bookings. Town, of course, have played extra ties in their competition than Stoke.
Stoke's first time in the competition. How can they pick up 2 yellow cards? Town have played, well, 3 games.
This is their 5th tie, isn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's ridiculous, and you know, for the non-league teams who've come in even earlier, potentially to get to this round, surely at first round and then at third round stage they should all be wiped, so at least it's a level playing field.
It's tough on Norburn, a player who was playing in the National League with Tranmere last season. He'd have loved to have come and played at an arena like this tonight. He'd be well rested though ahead of the return to League One action at Blackpool this Saturday. Town off to the Lancashire coast. Blackpool, Shrewsbury Town this coming Saturday. A game, of course, you can hear in Shropshire United along with Telford against Kidderminster in the National North. Stoke attacking midway inside the town half, right-hand side. They lead by a goal to nil. Clucas to Adam, and now Williams, the experienced Wales international, uses Bauer once more, and now Ince, who perhaps was the most effective of Stoke's attacking players at the Meadow in the first game. Martins Indy uses Timon on the left-hand side, having a go at Doherty, who stands his ground. Lots of red and white shirts in the middle, waiting to be fed. Clucas on the ball once again. Goes back towards halfway, and Adam pings the ball accurately to this near side, to Bauer. Bauer with the ball in, too high for Campbell. Ball runs away of Clucas on the left-hand side. Lots of red and white shirts wait to be fed, and Doherty gets a block in. It's a Stoke City corner, though.
This is how you play a diamond, though. Fantastic. Adam picked the ball up from behind the centre-halves there and pinged it 40 yards onto the boot of his full-back, overlapping on the right.
Here's Adam on the left-hand side. Ball comes in, Waterfall clears, goes straight to a Stoke player, and it's 2-0. Stoke in front. It's Campbell again. The clearance went straight to the Stoke City striker, and an emphatic volley. No chance, Arnold. It's Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 0.
Yeah, Charlie Adams running this game, and again it was his ball in, nodded back across goal, so easy. Tyrese Campbell on the volley, lovely finish into the bottom corner. Stoke are playing really well. Shrewsbury haven't been awful by any stretch of the imagination. The first goal was poor to concede, a really poor goal. That again wasn't the best, but they're having to absorb so much pressure because Stoke are just pinning them in. They're getting so many men up the pitch. This is exactly how to play a midfield diamond, which Town have been trying over the past few weeks and not implementing half as effectively. And it's not just the quality of the players, it's not just the fact that Charlie Adam is so good with his passing range, it's the way they're getting full-backs forward and pinning Town in.
Town knock it forward, it goes easily all the way through to Federici, and it's a big ask now, isn't it, for Sam Ricketts' Shrewsbury Town side, who are 2-0 down here. Federici has just had one comfortable catch to make underneath his crossbar. And Stoke have had two chances, and in fairness to Campbell, he stuck both of them away. That was a good volley, wasn't it? No chance, Arnold. Ball in from Arnold, and the headed clearance went straight to Campbell, and it was a really emphatic finish on the volley, and it's 2-0 to Stoke City. And Town have to try and plot a way back into this time, because easier said than done when you're confronted with the quality that Stoke have at their disposal tonight.
Well, they've got to get pressure on Adam, because when he's got the ball deep, the two central defenders for Stoke are often 30-40 yards apart. They split so wide so that the fullbacks can push up and they can get that width higher up the pitch. Adam drops into the space. There's an awful lot of space around him. If Town can get pressure on him, force him to give the ball away, he might be exposed. Town can hit them on the break, but at the moment he's been so good in possession, and Town have pinned back so deep they haven't been able to.
Gilead to Haynes on this left-hand side. Haynes tries to wriggle his way through, no way through. Ince for Stoke, good dribbling ability. Ince goes down, and he's caught by a Town challenge. It will be a Stoke free kick. Sam Ricketts having a word with the fourth official, but it will be a Stoke City free kick. They lead by 2-0. Tyrese Campbell has got both of them for the Championship side. Stoke look long, Bolton steps in, ball forward to Doherty, helped on by Amadi Holloway in the centre circle, but Stoke again win it back. Bauer for the home side, short ball to Clucas, tries to give it back to Bauer, and Town have won it back, but a foul given against Grant this time, and it's another free kick to Stoke. Town just trying to get some momentum going, which is proving no easy task here tonight, especially when you're 2-0 down.
It was the right thing to do, though. Grant, at least he's trying to get after them, particularly in positions where there's a bit of space in behind, as there is behind Bauer when he bombs on, and Williams has to come across and covers. Grant risking it, trying to step in and win the ball back, as he does there, but blown up this time.
Haynes with the out ball, goes straight to Williams for Stoke, ball forward, straight to Sadler. Volleys it over halfway, there's Adam again stepping in. having a very influential night, isn't he, for Stoke City. And Timon plays it back to Federici. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 0. Adam, short ball to Martins Indy. Now Williams on the ball. 5 minutes to go in this first half. Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury 0. A home tie with Wolves surprise. Town were 12 minutes away from knocking out Stoke, weren't they, in that first clash between these sides, and then Crouch came off the bench, part of a triple change, and he got the equaliser to necessitate tonight's replay. Williams gives it away, but Okenabiri can't take advantage. Don't keep the ball. Klukas clips it forward to Campbell, who's on a hat-trick now, of course. And free kick goes against Stoke this time, and it will be a Town free kick to be taken by Sadler, the captain.
Yeah, just got to try and get a foothold from somewhere. Again, if Stoke score again, there's a potential for it to get a bit embarrassing. Just looking back at the second goal, again, it's a long diagonal ball, it's a decent one forward from Adam, but Town don't win the first ball, they don't win the second ball, and that'll disappoint Sam Ricketts. But Stoke are just doing so well, patiently waiting for holes.
Here's Amadi Holloway on the left-hand side, looks for Doherty and he can't quite find him. Good challenge. Comes in from Timon, as Town almost got Doherty in some space in the penalty area. Stoke defend it well. Town throw on halfway. Bolton with it. Town fans find their voices. They're just desperate to really find their voices and have something to cling to. Town would love a goal back before half-time to give them a foothold in this replay. Waterfall with the long diagonal, looking for Amadi Holloway, helps it on to Okenabiri. Okenabiri uses Amadi Holloway down the left-hand side. Challenge comes in from Bauer. Amadi Holloway keeps it in. Haynes now on the left-hand side. Ball in, deep one. Could pick out Doherty, and it will. Doherty's first touch takes him outside the box, but then he turns and uses Bolton. Bolton, high hanging ball into the penalty area. Stayed in the area a long time, and Federici comes out and catches it easily.
Yeah, needs to be better than that. Bolton, from that sort of area with no pressure on the ball, needs to put in a more testing ball that just dropped out of the sky and into the grateful arms of Federici. But again, Town just struggling to find the required quality when they do get it up the pitch, and with Okenabiri on the left-hand side and Doherty not quite on his best on the right. It's a bit of a makeshift Town midfield, this. It's a rather odd team selection, and I've said it a couple of times, but I'd be fascinated to hear Sam Ricketts' thoughts behind it.
2 minutes to go in this first half. BBC Radio Shropshire at the Bet365 Stadium tonight, the home of Stoke City, where the home side lead Shrewsbury Town by 2-0. Campbell has got both of them in the 20th and the 37th minutes. Adam for Stoke, picks out Bauer, well forward on this right-hand side. Ball in towards Campbell, tries to play in Klukas, and Town defended this time, but it will be a Stoke throw, well forward down this right-hand side, as they look for a third goal before half-time. Adam for Stoke. Town finding it hard to score goals, aren't they, in recent weeks from open play. Norburn scored a couple of penalties against Stoke in the first meeting and at Accrington on Boxing Day. Waterfall scored a header at Sunderland from a Doherty free kick. They're just finding it hard to fashion goals from open play at this particular stage of the season. The last couple of matches they've played. Stoke with a throw taken by Bauer, looking for Klukas, who's challenged by Grant, decides wisely not to play it back to the goalkeeper. Grant's clearance goes straight to Bauer, who goes down. No free kick. Stoke with Ince, now Adam, and Adam goes back to Federici, who's well out of his goal, the Stoke City goalkeeper. Gives it back to Adam as we move into added time at the end of this first half. 2-0 to Stoke. Adam, the playmaker, lifts it forward again. This time Sadler gets his head to that one. Stoke now look for Crouch, who helps it on its way to Ince. And Town defend it well. There's just no outball for them at the moment. Loren forward to Doherty. Stoppage time end of the first half. Doherty holds off a Thibaut. And now Loren for the Town. Forward to the feet of Mardy Holloway, but well won back by Williams for Stoke. Ativo finds Ince in the centre circle. Ativo again. And now Clucas moves over halfway. Stoke 2-0 up. Clucas into Crouch. Now Campbell. Clucas again tries to play Crouch through the middle. And there's Sadler to take command of the situation, which he does. And Town are 2-0 down, and Sam Ricketts has some organising to do at half-time to rally his troops.
Yeah, heads are dropping now, aren't they? They're chasing shadows at the moment. This is a very, very different Stoke City. A very different proposition to the one that came to the Meadow a few weeks ago. Low on confidence, low on belief, and high on pressure from the stands, with Gary Rowett still in charge now under Nathan Jones. They look refreshed and like those few extra training sessions. I know it didn't work on Saturday against Brentford, but it started to take effect.
Well, they should be much higher than the bottom half of the Championship.
Yeah,
we know that with the quality that they've got. They've got Leeds United coming here on Saturday. That will be a big crowd for that one. Leeds coming here to take on Stoke. Adam works it out to Martins Indy. Ball over halfway to Timon. And there's half-time. And Stoke applauded off the field here because they are 2-0 up. Both goals coming to Tyrese Campbell. The first on 20, ball through the middle. And Campbell powered his way through the middle, found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And he slotted his shot past Steve Arnold. And then 37, Charlie Adam ball in, Town couldn't clear. And it fell very obligingly to Campbell. And his volley again gave Steve Arnold no chance. Town have had it hard going at the other end to make chances. They've had the ball in decent positions at times, but they haven't been able to really carve open Stoke defensively. The Stoke side containing lots of international experience and Premier League experience and know-how. And at half-time, Town have it all to do. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 0. Thank you, Mark. Aaron Mardy Holloway, the centre forward, has been replaced by Omar Beckles at half-time, so a different formation, it would seem, in this second half. Looks as though it's going to be three centre-halves, doesn't it? Beckles, Waterfall and Sadler, with Haynes and Bolton urged to push on as wing-backs. Doherty, Grant and Loren in midfield, and up front Gilead and Okenabiri playing more centrally in this second half. That's the Town team. Stoke with Federici in goal. At the back are Bauer, Williams, Martins Indy and Timon. And then Adam, Ince, Ativo and Clucas, and up front Campbell, who's got both goals, and Crouch. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 0. It's a long, long way back for Shrewsbury here. Doherty in the centre circle, nudges the ball in front of him to Bolton. Bolton to Doherty, and there's no way to go. And his ball forward is blocked off, and it will be a Town throw. And Beckles will take it. This is an opportunity again, isn't it, for Beckles, who, as we know, is a centre-half, isn't he, as opposed to a left-back, but he's played most of his games at left-back. Thought he did well when he came on in the initial tie between these two teams, when he came on as a fairly late sub that day for Sadler when he went off. And Beckles has 45 minutes to try and play his way into the starting 11. Clucas for Stoke goes back to Williams. Stoke 2-0 up here. Williams, who's had a terrific career, hasn't he, having started off in the lower reaches of the game. Terrific success at Swansea, got that move to Everton, and here he is now at Stoke. Martins Indy, short ball to Adam, who has really dictated the play. A long ball forward, and Timon well in, and this is a chance for the hat-trick, and Ince couldn't sort his feet out. What a chance! And Tom Ince will be disappointed with himself.
Well, Town can't cope with the pace at the moment. Timon bombing forward, Ince from that number 10 role. And Tyrese Campbell lurking just behind as well. That was a golden opportunity to end it as a contest. And Ince will be really annoyed at himself for not converting. All of 6-7 yards out, and he's put it wide with his left foot, and Town get away with one there.
Always liked Ince, so
yeah,
as a player, he's always seems to be one of those players that seems to alternate, yo-yos between Premier League clubs and decent clubs in the Championship.
He's never quite got the goals, has he, at Premier League level that he's been able to score consistently at Championship level. And, you know, sometimes players find the league they're comfortable in, and the Championship's a very good league, that's no disgrace, but he's a really entertaining player to watch. Quick feet, pacey, he's got a trick, he can finish, scores good goals. That was a bit of an aberration, but again they sliced Town open remarkably easily there.
Martins Indy goes short to Adam. Square ball to Williams. Stoke 2. Shrewsbury 0 here. Lucas back to Williams. Stoke is happy to keep the ball inside their own half. The onus very much on Shrewsbury Town, the League One side, who trail here by 2-0 on BBC Radio Shropshire. Are they going to really make a game of it and make it a proper cup tie in the best traditions of this wonderful old competition in this second half? Proving to be a tough test for them so far. Stoke a tough nut to crack, and those 2 goals from Campbell have given them a 2-goal comfort blanket here. Ince on the ball on halfway, goes back into his own half to Bauer. Square to Adam, and Adam, like all good footballers, always has that little bit of extra time on the ball to pick his pass, and he invites Bruno Martins Indy, the captain, to get involved this time. Lots of these Stoke players were playing week in, week out in the Premier League, weren't they, last year? So this was always going to be a tough test for the Town as Doherty gives the ball away in the centre circle. Crouch to Atibo, who played against Argentina in the last World Cup for Nigeria. And Atibo gets his pass away, Ince goes for goal, and it's high and wide, and the ball ends up in the Boothen end. Goal kick Town.
Town are just standing off them though, aren't they? And again, when Ince picked the ball up there 20-22 yards out from Arnold's goal, he had an awful lot of time to look up, pick his spot, and then try and bend it into the top corner, as it was for the second time in quick succession, although that was a much more difficult chance. He got it wrong.
Steve Arnold then clears from left to right as we look on this mild night in Stoke. Here's Gilead down the right, Town playing towards the travelling supporters. Can they give us something to really get excited about? Gilead cuts inside, uses Doherty. Bolton still available, Doherty swings the ball in, headed away by Ashley Williams. And good strength from Beckles now, who played for Town in that third round replay at West Ham 12 months ago. Not many of the others out there did, as Bolton did and Sadler. They were part of it that night. That's probably about it, isn't it, as the ball is knocked out of play and Anthony Grant can receive some treatment here.
Yeah, and Town have got to find something quickly to try and just get a bit of momentum going in this game. At the moment, heads are dropping. They haven't come out for the second half with the sort of intensity and fight that you'd expect. It's an interesting substitution as well, isn't it? 2-0 down in a cup tie, Sam Ricketts has taken off a centre-forward and brought on a central defender. I can understand what I guess he's trying to do, put the pace right high up the pitch and try and get some extra bodies in there, but it's a brave manager that does that at 2-0 down.
Well, Grant's back moving, which is good. He has to go off before he comes back on with the physio Jordan Beach out on the far side. 2-0 to Stoke. Can this yet be a famous cup night for Shrewsbury Town? It's the 40-year anniversary of that wonderful achievement when Town went all the way to the quarter-finals for the first time under Graham Turner, knocking out Manchester City in the 4th round and then taking Wolves to a replay. Ian Atkins with that late penalty at Molineux in front of more than 40,000. And then Town were knocked out 3-1 in the replay 40 years ago. And Town have had their moments in this terrific competition since, haven't they? Knocking out Everton. That run to the 5th round a few years ago under Mickey Mellon. As Crouch wins the flick on towards Ince, and Sadler on the edge of his 18-yard box steps in, works it in field. Josh Loren now for the Town. Ball over halfway, and Okenabiri enjoys no success against Bruno Martins Indy. Stoke emerge with the ball. Lucas run forward from the Stoke City forward, Campbell, who goes down, and that will be a free kick, save for referee Jeff Eltringham from 25 yards from the Shrewsbury Town goal.
A bit generous. Sadler maybe a little bit clumsy, but Campbell ran into him and went down theatrically over the top of him. On a hat-trick, of course, Tyrese Campbell. He looks a prospect for Stoke, but first of all, Town have got to make sure they don't concede again, because it's one-way traffic again in the opening 8 minutes of this half. Abo
Issa and young James Rowland have just sat down. They have been warming up. Sat back down on the bench. Stoke free kick then. Charlie Adams standing over this one, hands on hips. Stoke City going for a third goal. Adam goes for goal, then it's over the bar. Arnold had that one covered, and it's a goal kick to Shrewsbury Town, who continue to trail here by 2-0 on BBC Radio Shropshire.
Might actually have been Tyrese Campbell's first couple of career senior goals. Those. He has made a few appearances in the league, but just looking for goals. I'm not sure he's gotten any yet, but certainly a good young player. And looking at the likes of Timon as well, and we were impressed by Edwards, good young player as well. Stoke have seemingly started to get a few players coming through their youth system.
Bolton flicks the ball on, looking for Doherty, can't quite find him. Adam steps in again. Here's Campbell down the left-hand side. Town have the covering defender, Waterfall, this time. Ball over the head of Gilead, who's beaten in the air by Adam, who I seem to have mentioned more than any other player on the field tonight. Doherty now in the centre circle. Rolls it out to the left-hand side to Haynes, who's played as well as anybody for Shrewsbury Town, I think. Loren finds Okadabiri in the area, side netting. And Okadabiri, the angle was always against him, hit it with plenty of pace, left-footed, but the ball ends up in the side netting.
Yeah, and Okadabiri is Town's big goal threat. It's strange to see him lining up on the left-hand side of a midfield four in the first half. He's down the middle now. Gilead is a player that can get Town up the pitch, and they're playing up front together, but they've got to get into the game. They've got to get some service. Balls in behind, they will run the channels, they will put defenders under pressure, but all of Town's attacking players have been feeding off scraps a little bit up to now.
Good noise from the travelling Salopians, just trying to lift their team here for a second half revival. 2-0 Stoke lead. You never know just what kind of impact it might have on them. A team who haven't been winning games on a regular basis can, if Town can manage to cut the arrears to a single goal. Williams for Stoke on halfway. They go back into their own half, and Adam plays it all the way back once again to his goalkeeper, and Federici plays it out from the back. Here's a Thibaut, goes down under the challenge of Grant in the centre circle. Stoke free kick, they take it quickly. Klukas forward to Ince, a yard or two inside the Town half, back to Klukas, who puts his foot on the ball and passes to Williams. Stoke 2-0 up here, just content to keep the ball at the moment. They've got a strong bench, haven't they, with the likes of Phoebe, McLean, Berahino and Town old boy Woods, all among the subs tonight. Bolton for Town, lifts it forward, Doherty gives chase, and Martin Zindi just plays it back to Federici once again, who comes out of his penalty area, ball at his feet. Federici in for the rested Jack Butland tonight. The England goalkeeper hasn't featured in either of these two third-round ties. Adam for Stoke finds a Thibaut, and a Thibaut dribbling goes down under the challenge from Doherty. Stoke free kick.
It's difficult to see a route back into this one for Shrewsbury now. A goal could change all that, and after Stoke took the lead, I said if Town can stay in this until the latter stages, then they can think about throwing the kitchen sink at Stoke. At the moment, the gap's just too big. Again, they absolutely cannot afford to concede the next goal. That would kill this as a contest, and again, confidence does look a little bit shaky as it is.
Free kick, Stoke City, some 45 yards from goal. Adam with it, Sadler heads it away, not convincingly, and Klukas on the half volley, and it's over the top, and it was half a chance again, wasn't it, for the Championship side?
Yeah, again, poor clearance by Sadler, headed against his own man, I think, and they're not covering themselves in glory, the two Town Central defenders tonight. The experienced Sadler and the more physically imposing Waterfall just haven't been able to get to grips with what is a higher division attack. Let's cut them a bit of slack in that regard, but Town have got to start making life harder for Stoke. They're standing off them, showing them a bit too much respect. A bit of fear at the moment is creeping in.
Bolton, ball forward, looking for Okunabiri, can't find him. Stoke clear up towards Crouch. He's been pretty quiet, hasn't he, so far? He's so far been upstaged by his young strike partner, Campbell, but it's down to Crouch, so we're here tonight in the first place, isn't it? Because Town were looking to close out that 1-0 win in the first match, when Crouch came off the bench to score that equaliser 12 minutes from time. Town throw, just inside the Stoke half. Bolton will take it towards Okunabiri, who's beaten in the air by Martins Indy. Ball forward by Bolton again. It's blocked off by Ativo, and it will be a Town throw, which Bolton will take. Town 2-0 down here. As we move towards the hour mark, the sense they need to score the next goal to really make a cup tie of it. Gilead goes back to Sadler in the centre circle, and now to Grant, and Grant plays it forward to Okunabiri. Good ball this time. Okunabiri looks for Doherty, slightly behind the on-loan Rangers player, and there's Adam tidying up, and again he plays it back to Federici, who clears. There's Grant, wins it for the Town, forward to Okunabiri, and Grant again, good ball down the left-hand side. Haynes now 20 yards from goal. Haynes into the area, still Haynes, on he goes, little step over. Challenge comes in from Bauer, Town corner. Good again, it all stems from Haynes.
Yeah, he's probably been Town's best player so far tonight. Grant again looking for him on the overlap, got in there. I don't know why Gilead's running towards him. Maybe a little bit of inexperience playing as a central striker. He ran towards Haynes and took all the space away from him, but in the end the wing back did well to win a corner.
Corner then to the Town, will be taken here by Gilead. Right-footed, Sadler's in there. Williams heads it up in the air for Stoke. Adam clears acrobatically. Haynes is last man back by the goalkeeper, and he finds Grant on this right-hand side. Grant knocks it down the touchline. It comes off Timon, and it will be a Town throw. Town 2-0 down, an hour played. Stuart Dunnan, Mark Elliott at the home of Stoke City tonight. Doherty tries to give it back to Bolton, unable to do so, and Adam, with a clear, it hits the roof.
I mean, this is a big stand, and Adam, from 5 yards infield, has hit the roof with his clearance. I mean, that is making sure the ball went into touch.
Town with this throw, when the ball eventually is returned from a long way back in the stand, the main stand. Bolton to Doherty, who turns, gives it to Beckles, and now Bolton again. Bolton plays a good-looking ball into the chance, and it's headed wide by Okunabiri, and he's offside. It would not have counted in any case, as Okunabiri's close-range header misses the target.
Yeah, I think I'd be quite thankful that the flag went up. Okunabiri, but Town just showing signs now that they're coming to life as an attacking force, which is good. The chance of a bit of complacency creeping into Stoke's game as well might help them. It's been so comfortable for the home side, but they've shown a bit over the last few minutes.
Just being shown a replay of Stoke City's opening goal, by the way, on these two big screens in two of the corners here. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 0. Grant has been caught by a combination of Williams and Clucas in the centre circle. And it will be a Town free kick. Town gradually starting to carry a bit more of a threat, though. Waterfall doesn't find Bolton, telegraphed it, easily headed away. Stoke played up towards halfway to Campbell, who scored both goals for the home side in the first half. Here's Ativo on halfway, holds off Grant. Stoke goes square to Williams. Good ball to Tom Ince, who's allowed to turn. Ince carries the ball forward, 30 yards to the Town goal. Stoke keep the ball. Still they have it with Clucas. Works it in field to Adam. Fans want him to shoot. Nice reverse ball from Adam instead, and Town get a challenge in. Grant to Gilead. Gilead is allowed to turn. He's going in the right direction, and he's caught by Adam. Gilead holds him off, and then he's blocked off by Ashley Williams. Well, Adam couldn't stop him, Williams did, albeit resorting to foul means to do so. Yellow card for the experienced Stoke City centre-half.
Yeah, he was fouled twice in quick succession. Williams is lucky to escape the book as well. And that's what Gilead can bring when he does get a bit of space to run into, particularly at the last line of defence. He is a threat. We just haven't seen him in those sorts of positions often enough, in a position that he's unfamiliar in fairness to him.
It wasn't clear who actually got the booking there. Was it Williams or Adam? They were both worthy of a yellow card. Yellow card has been shown. Town free kick, 10 yards inside the Stoke half. Haynes will take it. Waterfall again the target for this diagonal ball that comes in. Stoke defend the initial ball. Town keep it though with Doherty. He runs into Klukas. The ball could spin out of play, but it won't. Grant is there. Flicked on by the head of Doherty. Giving it back by Bolton, and now Gilead down the right-hand side. Peter Crouch popping up in the left-back position. Gilead gives it to Doherty. Back to Gilead. And now to Loren, central position. Gilead once more. Gilead shoots right-footed and it's wide. Good football though from Town, better.
Watching Crouch try and keep pace with Gilead. It was like a parent chasing his toddler, wasn't it? He was desperately trying to herd him into the corner, and it wasn't happening. That's, for all of his 37 years, that's not the sort of situation Peter Crouch has ever thrived in. And Gilead enjoyed that, I'm sure. But it comes to naught. Kind of growing into this second half.
Clearance from Federici, helped on by Crouch. Well won in the air by Waterfall for the Town. Loren gives chase, but Maritz Barra emerges with the ball. Stoke keep it on halfway. Adam back to Williams. Williams once more. And the ball now worked towards Ince, who's stopped in his track by Waterfall. Good challenge from the centre-half. Doherty to Bolton. Bolton looking to utilise the pace of Gilead, but the ball was poor from Bolton. Goes into touch, didn't give Gilead any sort of chance. You could see what he was trying to do. He just couldn't get the pass right, and it's Stoke through.
Yeah, Bolton's final ball hasn't been good enough tonight so far. His crossing from wide areas hasn't been great, and then that pass was poor. The thing about Crouch is, and the reason I use that analogy is, I know he's 6'7", but having seen him now live twice, what's remarkable is he looks even taller. I don't know whether it's because he's quite thin and very long, but
yeah, that's what struck me when I first saw him in the warm-up at the Meadow a couple of Saturdays ago. Yeah, we know he's tall. Of course he is, but when you actually see him for the first time, it is one of those moments, isn't it? When you realise just how tall.
He'd pass for 7'7", wouldn't he? You know, we've seen players that big before, particularly goalkeepers, but yeah, he's a remarkable physical specimen.
20 minutes into this second half. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 0. The Town have had couple of chances in this second half. Okudabiri into the side netting, and Gilead with the shot wide. Here comes Stoke though within central position, midway inside the Town half. Timon infield to Atibo, who's challenged by Doherty, and free kick given against Doherty. The referee wants a word with the on loan Rangers player. Charlie Adams standing over the free kick as always for Stoke, and Ashley Williams making a late run forward from the back here. Stoke 2-0 in front. Just want to see this one out and ideally add to their advantage. Ball in towards Crouch, can't get anything on that one, and the ball just trundles harmlessly out of play for a Shrewsbury Town goal kick.
Yeah, and Stoke's performance levels have dropped off slightly now. It's been so comfortable for them, and that might help Town, and it only takes one goal. If they can get back into this, then all of a sudden we're set up for a nervy finish for the home supporters, and that's got to be Town's first target.
Well, that League Cup tie 9 years ago now here, when Stoke were 2-0 up and pretty comfortable. Steve Leslie then got one back in the last 15 minutes or so, and Town could have made it 2-2 in the end that night because they finished really strongly. Just shows what a difference a goal can make if they can get one. Here's Okudabiri. Good ball to Gilead. Central position, goes back to Loren. And Town now use Haynes on the left-hand side. Haynes whips the ball in. Doesn't fall to Bolton, but it does to Grant. Grant goes for the top corner, and it's not too far wide. It's a decent hit from the former Port Vale man, Anthony Grant. But I think Federici knew it was always going wide. Goal kick.
It was a nice hit though, good technique from Grant, dipping late, but in the end a couple of yards wide. We saw, didn't we, in this part of the world this time last week, just how precarious a one-goal lead can be. Port Vale weren't in the game at all, but Town couldn't get the second goal. They equalised, and 10 minutes later Town were out of the Checkatrade Trophy, so it can happen, but they've got to get within shooting distance, if you like.
Williams for Stoke, goes short to Bauer. Stoke keep it with Williams again, forward now to Atibo. And Atibo moves over halfway. Stoke 2-0 up, midway point of this second half. Atibo, good ball to Ince, who's allowed to turn. This is dangerous. Ince to Crouch. Ince again, shot comes in, takes a deflection. Corner to Stoke City.
Yeah, nice play from Crouch, acting like the wall, just taking it, laying it off back to Ince, who's starting to come into the game more and more. We didn't see much of him in the first half. That's his third shot on goal in the second period, and he's a player who's got an immense amount of talent.
Stoke corner, big ovation for Charlie Adam from the Boothen end as he goes over to take it. Big fans' favourite here, he has been for a while. And Adam takes this corner, looking for Crouch, headed away by Waterfall, and Ince on the volley. And it's another one that clears the bar by some distance, and it will be a goal kick. 69 minutes on the clock, no sign of any further activity on the bench for the Town. Amadi Holloway went off at half-time to be replaced by Beckles. The attacking options open to the manager. Lee Angle, Abo Issa. The young midfielder James Rowland is on the bench, 17 years of age. Josh Emmanuel, the full-back on loan from Ipswich, and Ryan Sears, who scored at Port Vale, didn't he? Last Tuesday in the Checkatrade Trophy. And the young goalkeeper tonight on the bench, Sam Agius, age 16. What an experience for him to be warming up at a stadium like this and to be part of the match day 18 for the Town tonight. Although Town earlier have signed Rhys Charles Cook, the former Coventry City goalkeeper. That news breaking ahead of kickoff. Here come Town. Run from the back from Sadler. Ball forward to Okenabiri, 20 yards from goal. Tries to play in Haynes. And Haynes evades a challenge. Plays it back to Loren. 25 yards from goal, and Loren slides it to this near side. And the ball finds its way towards Bolton. Lots of blue and amber shirts forward here. Just over 20 minutes to go. Grant to Bolton. Town have been much improved in this second half. But Stoke, the goalkeeper, Federici, has still not been seriously called into action as yet, as Town play the crossfield ball looking for Haynes. Doesn't find him. But that's a good challenge from Loren. And now Haynes, some 20 yards from goal. Good run in front of it from Doherty to Gilliard, and now Bolton in the penalty area. Bolton shoots, and he scores! James Bolton! The boyhood Stoke City supporter with a wonderful finish into the top corner of the net. What a finish after a good move from Shrewsbury Town. And with just under 20 minutes to go, hope for the League One side. Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury Town 1.
What a story. That is a dream goal in front of his dad, who's a Stoke City fan. James Bolton, who used to go home and away with the Potters, with the best goal he's ever scored. That is one to warm the heart. All credit as well to Josh Loren. And that is what we want to see from Loren, winning the ball back high up the pitch in a dangerous position and setting that in motion. Really well done, Bolton. Really well done, Loren. And we've got a big finish on our hands now.
And Haynes was involved again, wasn't he, in the build-up? Stoke are going to respond by sending on the experienced Republic of Ireland international, James McLean, who played in the first game and was taken off. But he's going to come on here with just under 20 minutes to play. But what a moment for James Bolton. As soon as it went to him and he was in the box, he was just urging him to shoot. And he did, and it was postage stamp, wasn't it?
Yeah, what a hit. It was a...
Campbell's going off, which is a surprise. Tyrese Campbell.
It's an interesting one. It's a defensive change, isn't it, on the face of it, with McLean a winger by trade. I wonder whether they'll go 4-3-3 and play McLean and inside the side of Crouch. But what a moment for James Bolton. He was in the stands for Stoke's FA Cup run, twice to Wembley. This is... Oh, it's Roy of the Rovers stuff, isn't it?
I thought we were going to see a replay of his goal there, by the way, but instead they've shown Campbell's opening goal again as he makes his way off. Good night for young Campbell, though. He's got both goals for Stoke. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 1. But Town have some hope. 2-1 to Stoke. Here they come with Ince. On the move down the right-hand side, and Beckles, who's had a good impact, hasn't he, since coming on at half-time. He's there again to clear the danger, and it will be a Stoke throw on the right-hand side. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 1. Really pleased for those travelling fans, and they've got a goal to jump around and celebrate. And it's happened at the end where they are as well, which is even better.
And we've got a game on our hands now, because, as I say, last week in Burslem, just down the road from here, Port Vale were nowhere near in the game. One mistake from Kieran Kennedy, now departed from Shrewsbury Town. Level back on terms, and we went to penalties.
But here comes Stoke down the right with Bauer. He goes down in the box. Appeals, certainly from the fans behind the goal. Nothing doing, says the man in charge, Jeff Eltringham, and it will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick, goal kick rather, inside that 18-yard box. Lee Angle has just been sent out to warm up. It's 2-1 to Stoke City, and the Town fans, that's all you can hear, isn't it? The Town fans here at the Bet365 Stadium. Town fans making all the noise as they play the ball back to Arnold, the goalkeeper. What a moment for James Bolton. That might just be his second goal for Shrewsbury, you know. I remember he scored the winner at Portsmouth last season. Here's Haynes. Haynes looks for Loren, and Ashley Williams clears. 2-1 to Stoke City. And Town have just over 15 minutes to pull something out of the bag to try and force extra time here at the Bet365 Stadium. 2-1 to Stoke. James McLean has just been sent on. And he wants the ball on this left-hand side. He gets it. McLean on halfway. A man who's played lots of football at the highest level. Become a regular member of the Irish international team as well. Ashley Williams on the edge of his 18-yard box. Works the ball forward, and Stoke go back to Federici. Federici is closed down by Grant, and now the Australian goalkeeper clears over halfway. Crouch mistimes his jump. He goes down. He wants a free kick. He won't get one though. Still Crouch makes his point to the ref. Waterfall gets on with the game and plays it back to Arnold. Arnold clears along the ground. And Stoke can pinch it here. Clucas to McLean, chance to wrap it up. Good save, Arnold. Really important save from the Shrewsbury Town goalkeeper. Now Adam from distance, and it's off target. And it's a goal kick, and talk about a toning there. Steve Arnold's clearance scuffed it along the ground, and then Stoke played in James McLean, and well done, the goalkeeper came racing off his line and got a good block in, and Adams with a follow-up well off target.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, he did make up for his own mistake. It was a really poor kick, and teams of this quality will punish you for giving the ball away deep in your own half, and in the end Arnold did well to get out, make himself big and allow the ball to hit him, and then Charlie Adam from distance couldn't score. What was a difficult finish on the follow-up, but Town have just got to stay in the game, and then in a few minutes Sam Ricketts has got to think about how he's going to get his team to really go for it, maybe last 10.
Well, here's Anthony Grant in the centre circle. Grant for Town, short ball to Loren, and now Haynes. 2-1 Stoke lead. Grant to Loren, and this is dangerous. Grant at the penalty. Loren in the area, goes down, and it's a penalty. Penalty to Shrewsbury Town. Josh Loren goes down, it's a penalty.
Nailed on penalty. Really good run from Loren, who's come to life in the last 10 minutes or so. Broke into the box. Clumsy challenge. It was right on the edge, but you can see the divot that's been made, and it is just the right side of the white line. And Town have an opportunity to drag themselves, haul themselves back onto level terms.
Well, we were discussing in the car, weren't we, on the way to Stoke, with Norburn suspended, who would take the penalties, and we thought it might be this player, Fejiri Okunabiri, with the chance to level it up at 2-2 in this FA Cup third round replay. Okunabiri, and he does! Great penalty! And the town fans are partying in the away end. It's Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury Town 2, with 13 minutes to play.
Well, what a fantastic turnaround. If you'd have asked me 15 minutes ago whether I thought Town had any chance in this game, I'd have put it at 2 or 3%. That is extraordinary. Great run from Loren. Penalty dispatched coolly by Okunabiri. 13 minutes to go. We could have extra time. This is remarkable.
Great run from Loren, and cool penalty for Okunabiri, a boy who was playing in the National League, and it's a big moment for him, and nerveless.
Josh Loren instrumental in both goals as well. Won the ball back to tee up Bolton, and yeah, that was a great hit in fairness to Bolton. This time even more influential, breaking into the box, drawing the foul, and Okunabiri dispatches the penalty coolly, calmly, and all of a sudden it's the away end we can hear. The home supporters are very, very quiet, and there might just be a little bit of anxiety around the Bet365 now.
2-2. What a cup tie. And the half-time change has worked well, hasn't it?
Yeah, in fairness.
Yep. Beckles coming in, tightened it up at the back, and Gilead has played more central. Yellow card here. I think it could be Loren who's received it. But it's 2-2.
It's given them a bit more of a platform, hasn't it? And I did say it takes a brave manager to take off a striker and put on a centre-half at half-time, because on the face of it, that looks like damage limitation, doesn't it? But what it's given Shrewsbury is a bit of a platform. And look, it's a wonder goal from James Bolton, a good run and a penalty won by Loren. The goals have come against the run of play, but Town deserve a bit of fortune.
Stoke free kick taken by Charlie Adam. Williams is in there, heads it wide, and it's adjusted to have come off a Town player last there, and it will be a Stoke City corner. Town aren't happy with that.
Came off Williams, or came off nobody, because he was riding all over the back of Omar Beckles there. So Town have got to defend another set piece, but I say they deserve a bit of luck. They've been on the wrong end of so many results that they should have done better with. This is a good night now, shaping up to be.
Stoke corner, Charlie Adam will take it. 2-2. Just over 10 minutes to play. Adams takes it left-footed, Arnold comes, but headed away by Haynes. Gilead completes the clearance. 2 apiece. What will come next in this compelling FA Cup third-round replay? That's what it is now. Those 2 quick goals, Bolton and Okunabiri from the penalty spot. 2-2. Here's Doherty for the Town. Can they complete the turnaround? Ball forward to Grant. And now, here's Okunabiri, the top goal scorer. Great ball, Doherty's in the area here. Plays it into Loren, he scores! 3-2 to Shrewsbury Town. It's a sensational turnaround. Town were 2-0 down at half-time, but they have completely turned it around. Josh Loren converts the Doherty cross. Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury Town 3. It's another one of those famous cup nights it's shaping up to be.
Well, this is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Cool head from Doherty, and it's that man Loren, twice instrumental in setting up goals. This time, right place, right time for the tap-in. Doherty picking up the loose ball on the right-hand side. Town again won it back high. That's what we want, more of that from them. Doherty in down the right-hand side, picked out the perfect ball in between the goalkeeper and the back four for Stoke, and Loren charging in at the far post, gets a tap in. What odds would you have given me on this 20 minutes ago?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Stoke are making a change. Charlie Adam is going up, and Benica Phobie has been sent on, the former Wolves striker. And we look at that scoreboard in the corner of the ground, which spells out Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3, and it is an absolutely beautiful sight in the Potterers tonight. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3, and all the goals have come in front of the away end.
Wonderful. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. A game in which Stoke was so comfortable at 2-0 up. I'd have put your house on Stoke winning the game at that point.
It's a brilliant turnaround, and that was such composure from Doherty. We wondered, when he got into the box, I had visions of Salford away. Tight angle, he's going to hit it, but
absolutely.
to rode it across the
cool
6-yard box, and there was Loren. Talk about clinical.
Well, he took a touch, didn't he? And I thought, oh, hang on, and then picked his spot brilliantly. Good decisions from both players. A cool head in a moment of potential panic, and well, how Town have turned it around, I'm not quite sure, but they are brilliant.
Ball in from McLean from the left-hand side, headed away by Sadler. Bolton completes the clearance. Stoke rattled. They cannot believe it, the home supporters. Their team were 2-0 up with less than 20 minutes to go.
They had their slippers on, didn't they? That, you know, it was that comfortable.
Dangerous lead, isn't it? It's an old cliche, but it's so true. Here comes Town again with Grant, and he's upended by the Dutch international Bruno Martins Indy, and it will be a Town free kick. And Town are 7 minutes away from a home tie with Wolves in the fourth round of the FA Cup, but they're not there yet. This would be one of those nights to really savour.
Yeah.
And it could be the catalyst for improved league results as well, if they can see this one through.
When we talk about this team having lost the ability they had last season to find a way to win tight games, well, they've found a way tonight. Everything went against them. They didn't play well first half. They didn't start the second half well. But they've found a way to drag themselves back onto level terms. They've really dug this one out.
Town on the attack down the left-hand side with Lebren, who scored the third goal here for them tonight. Ball goes out of play. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. I'm thinking of that text message you read out at half-time. Was it from Mike, who was going to...
he was switching off the radio.
Switching off the radio at 2-0. Hope he didn't. Hope he's still with us and enjoying this incredible second half turnaround. Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury Town 3 here. It's a wonderful, wonderful night. 6 minutes to go. Town have an attacking throw. Sam Ricketts will be pacing up and down in that technical area, I'm sure. As Town look to see this one through. Here's Gilead. A T-boat, ball forward to Peter Crouch. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. Martins Indy plays the ball forward to Tynan. And now McLean shows too much of that to Grant. Great strength from Grant. McLean doesn't like it, he stays down. Grant just gets on with it, powers forward down the right. Grant goes on and he goes down under the challenge of a T-boat, no free kick. And Stoke play their way forward. Some of the Stoke fans at the main stand are leaving around us, we can see. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. Here's Tom Ince for the Championship club, running at Matt Sadler. Ince still against Sadler. Sadler shows him outside and Sadler does well, clears, and it will be a Stoke City throw, some 10 yards from the corner flag. Will Town, I think Sam Ricketts and Eric Ramsey having a conversation here. They're about to make a change. Abo Issa is about to come on. Here's Ince for Stoke on the right-hand side. Plays it to a T-bow there to hit. A T-bow goes on, a T-bow shoots, and Arnold makes a good save at his near post. Stoke City corner.
Yeah, they're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, are they? The home side, and a T-bow shifting the ball and then leathering it goalwards. Pushed well away by Arnold, and Town have got to hold firm.
Well, Issa, it's a sensible change, isn't it, with his pace to take Town upfield when they get the chance. But first of all, they have to defend this corner, and Stoke have got plenty of height in there. Here comes the corner. It's towards Crouch, and he's headed over the top, and that was a chance.
Yeah.
The former England player pulled away at the far post, and Peter Crouch, who's played for some big clubs and has represented his country at the highest level, and he couldn't keep his header down, and it's a goal kick for Shrewsbury Town with 4 minutes to go on BBC Radio Shropshire. What a night this is shaping up to be. Town are 3-2 up here, having been 2-0 down with less than 20 minutes to play.
Absolutely unbelievable, just when you think you've seen it all. This is incredible as a turnaround, and Peter Crouch should have scored there, should have dragged Stoke back onto level terms, didn't. Anthony Grant getting in the referee's ears, getting in Crouch's ear as well, just making sure the frustration builds for the experienced former England striker and Stoke City in general, and they haven't got long to see this one out.
Arnold clears, Bolton heads on, it's into touch. Town can make the change now if they want to.
Gilead, you would think, and it would be like for like.
Just to recap, if you're just joining us on BBC Shropshire, you've missed some nights. Stoke were 2-0 up at half-time. Tyrese Campbell had got both of them. Okunabiri is going off, so Issa's coming on for Okunabiri. But then began the fight back. 71 minutes, lovely passing move, and James Bolton, the right back, boyhood Stoke City fan, breaking into the box, and what a finish into the top corner. That was 2-1. And then 6 minutes later, Josh Loren burst into the box. He was upended, penalty, and Okunabiri kept his cool to fire that one home. And then even better, 81 minutes, lovely move from Town down the right, Doherty roading the ball across the 6-yard box, and there was Loren to gleefully turn the ball home. Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury Town 3, and we have 2.5 minutes to play. Issa looking to get involved here for Town down the right. Stoke clear towards halfway. 2 minutes to go. Ball forward from Waterfall, and it goes through to the goalkeeper. Stoke just must be absolutely shell-shocked at what has unfolded here. Williams forward to Atibo and to McLean. These are all international players. Timon now for Stoke. McLean once again, that save from Steve Arnold at 2-2 looking important now, isn't it, the save from Arnold on McLean. Martins Indy on halfway takes a chance, and he's tackled by Grant, and Town can come forward. Can they finish it off here? Counter-attack, Gilead holds the ball. Doherty, I think, is going to run it towards the corner flag, which is sensible in the 89th minute. Clucas comes with him, and Doherty takes it out of play. In the end, it will be a Stoke throw right next to the corner flag. Taken by Clucas.
A long, long way to go. That was clever, and again, Bolton winning it back there. This is good from Town.
Here's Williams for Stoke. Into the final minute. Can't recall either physio coming on in this second half. Williams well forward here for Stoke. Still he has it 30 yards from goal. Williams holds off the challenge of Loren. Stoke keep it. It's with Clucas back into the centre circle. 50 seconds to go. We wait to see how much time will be added. Yet to see the fourth official. Town are so close to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Atibo. Ball forward to Afobe. Knocks it out to the right side, and it runs away from Bauer. And Town will have a throw in the left-back position, and they are 20 seconds plus stoppages away from reaching the fourth round of the FA Cup at a ground that was until May a Premier League stadium for 10 successive seasons.
Don't you love this game? Just when you think what is going to happen is absolutely nailed on, something happens, and this has been as incredible a turnaround as I've ever seen live. Town were out of it.
But here comes Stoke in stoppage time. I missed how much time was added up, shown by the fourth official. Was it 4 minutes? Grant clears, and then Grant again. He's fouled, and it will be a Shrewsbury Town free kick. Look at that scoreboard, Mark. The two club badges. Stoke City 2, Shrewsbury 3, and it shows 90 minutes.
Incredible, isn't it? Again, Town were out of the FA Cup. Stoke had their slippers on. They were lighting the pipe. Bit of complacency, bit of desire, a bit of heart, a bit of character from Shrewsbury Town. And Josh Loren made two, scored the other. Good play from Doherty for the third. Wonderful finish from Bolton for the first. And a dream scenario. This is incredible.
Well, Steve Arnold just taking his time over this free kick. Lee Angle's going to come on in stoppage time just to try and run down the clock as well. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. Arnold clears over halfway towards Gilead. Here's Grant for Town. Forward to Gilead. Gilead turns and keeping Town in the right direction. Loren for the Town. Looks for Haynes, can't find him. Bauer for Stoke. Still. Little ball to Clucas. Goes long. Just long ball looking to find Crouch, who heads it on to McLean. McLean down the left-hand side. Ball comes in, and there's Sadler. And Waterfall should clear, and he does clear just in the nick of time. Up towards Doherty it goes. Issa does well to find Doherty. And Doherty plays it against a Stoke player, and it will be a Town throw, and on comes Lee Angle now in stoppage time. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. What a sensational night on BBC Radio Shropshire. Gilead's going to come off.
That was a dodgy moment, wasn't it? As Waterfall and Sadler both went to ground. Missed the ball, had to get up and clear it away, but they did it in the end, and Gilead walks right the way over to the far touchline, so he has as far to come as possible as he's withdrawn, and he applauds the away end and just tries to soak up as much of the atmosphere and run down as much of the clock as he possibly can. And Town are very, very close now to the fourth round.
And he's played his part, hasn't he, Gilead? He's been positive.
He's done okay.
He's ran at Stoke. He's been part of the incredible turnaround. Stoppage time. Stoke 2. Shrewsbury Town 3. Crouch heads it on. A T-bone lifts the ball forward. Sadler covers well. Bolton gets there ahead of Crouch. And now Angle to Issa. And Issa's ball is just in front of Doherty, but Town are almost there. Stoppage time. Wolverhampton Wanderers at home. The cries at stake as Waterfall comes across, and it's a Town free kick. And listen to the howls of derision from the frustrated Stoke City supporters who cannot quite believe what's unfolding in front of their eyes here tonight. Stoppage time, and Town have a free kick inside their box, and Beckles is going to knock this one as far as possible, you would think. In fact, he's going to leave it for Arnold to take.
Wisely so, and this is just going to go as far away as possible, and it could be it. The referee has his whistle in his hand.
Arnold clears downfield and straight into touch. Stoke have a throw in the left-back position. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. Those Town fans loving their evening in the Potteries. Their team is so close. Bolton heads it forward. Angle on as a substitute, gets hold of the ball. Ball forward to Issa. Issa on the board, he's just going to head towards the corner flag here, you can guarantee that. And just try and run down the clock and guide Town towards that place in the fourth round, and a home tie with Wolverhampton Wanderers.
That's it. Surely that's
all
it.
over. Keeper plays it out from the back. He's given it back by Williams. Federici is going to pump it forward for Stoke City. Ball over halfway. It's towards Crouch, who's beaten in the air by Waterfall. Williams for Stoke. Finds Bauer. Bauer on the right-hand side. Challenge comes in. Still we go on. Stoke 2, Shrewsbury 3. Deep into stoppage time. Crouch with the flick on. Volleyed away by Beckles. But Stoke work it to this near side, and it's all over! What a night for Shrewsbury Town! It's another famous FA Cup chapter for Shrewsbury Town, who were 2-0 down here at Stoke City with less than 20 minutes to play. And then they've scored 3 quick unanswered goals, which have stunned Stoke City. And Shrewsbury Town will host Wolverhampton Wanderers of the Premier League in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Sensational night. Unbelievable result.
And they were dreadful first half, let's make no bones about it. They started the second half pretty limply. Stoke 2-0 up, looking comfortable, and then the most epic of turnarounds. Full credit to Sam Ricketts, adding a centre-half for a striker at half-time at 2-0 down in the FA Cup. I mean, unbelievable as the away players walk over to the away end and celebrate with thousands of Salopians who've made the trip to Staffordshire. And my goodness, was it worth their while. I can see Anthony Grant, shirt off, about to hurl his blue and amber stripes into the crowd. There are players embracing as well. Josh Loren made 2 goals, scored the other, and was instrumental in the most improbable of comebacks. James Bolton from all of 25 yards, boyhood Stoke fan.
That's a wonderful story, isn't it?
Went home and away with the Potters, and he set
his goal should be the catalyst for the comeback.
On the comeback trail, and it was a wonderful finish. And then a calmly taken Okenabiri penalty, won by Loren, then cool heads from Doherty to square to Loren, and Stoke took their eye off the ball, and Town punished them, and punished them how? Unbelievable. We will have the news at 10 o'clock, we will have your reaction afterwards, and look at the away end. To a man they've stayed. They're making a wonderful noise as the teams go off into the tunnel directly beneath those away supporters. Ashley Williams, captain of Wales, looks bereft, looks embarrassed, as well he might. And the Town players, a lot of them are staying out there, not wanting to go down the tunnel. Steve Arnold applauding, Anthony Grant applauding, Fajiri Okunabiri with a red and white Stoke City shirt in his hands.
Well, there's quite a few times with Stoke City shirts. They've taken a few Stoke City shirts as souvenirs, haven't they? Doherty, I can see, has got one. And the tunnel could not be any better position, could it? At the end of the ground, the corner of the ground, where those town fans have been partying. Sam Ricketts, the manager, loving it as he goes away to celebrate with them. And Anthony Grant and Greg Doherty are the last players off. They were tireless in midfield. Grant was terrific. Doherty made the winner for Lorraine. It was that sort of night as the final player disappears down the tunnel, and the town supporters look at each other, and I'm sure they're making arrangements to getting a ticket for the Wolves game at the Meadow